All right, good morning. This is the protocol sync meeting for July 22nd. We are, just working on a lot of things right now. For me, a lot of my effort has gone to hit 30, and also releasing the finality, the 1 second finality paper, and working through a lot of discussions on our emissions and making our protocol more decentralized in result of that. So um, I'll just start off with Max and go from there.
hmm so in the context of HIP 30, I am working on two tasks. One is the reduction from 4 to 2 shards. This is again, as a reminder, this is going to be modeled off of the testnet shard reduction that we undertook earlier this year. The only thing is on testnet, we could have just dropped everyone's balances on shards 2 and 3, which is not something we can do here. So there's going to be a separate migration process that's going to pull in all the balances from shards 2 and 3 to shard 1. Any contracts or any state storages that are present are going to be dropped. Sorry. Um, and for the migration, I have analyzed that there are about 1,200 addresses on shard 1 and about 600 addresses on shards 2 and 3. The balances are, I believe, 6 million on shard 1 and 3 million on shards 2 and 3 each. And from shards 2 and 3, I am going to pull all of the non-zero accounts, and they're going to be broadcasted to shard 1 similar to a cross shard receive. So for this, I am trying to figure out if there is a quick way through which we can iterate through all of the leaf nodes in the Merkle Patricia tree. All of the leaf nodes represent one account each, and from those accounts we can figure out the balances and broadcast them. The only difficult task that is occurring in this is that there is the key in the Merkle Patricia tree is not the address of the account, it's the hash of the address of the account. So there has to be a separate table that exists, which is the pre-images table. It exists on the newer database version since guys upgraded everything, but it doesn't exist. But I still need to determine if it exists on the older versions. As long as it exists on the leader node, the migration can proceed. The only thing that we need to ensure is that at the point of at the time of migration, the shards 2 and 3 leader nodes do have the pre-images table. So all the potential shard internal validators, I will go in there and I will check manually that the pre-images table exists and the migration can then proceed. And then the second task that I am doing is the Casey, can you switch to that one? This one I've just picked up yesterday. It is the emission redistribution. Right now we emit about 441 million one tokens every year. Of this, this originates from a block reward of 7-1 across all 4 shards. And the plan is after the shard reduction happens is that the block reward increases to 14-1, of which about 221 million will go to the validators and 220 million will go to a community or Harmony managed multisig. This is the only problem I anticipate is in doing the fractional math, but that's not going to be a big problem in implementation. Um, in addition, the minimum validator commission, which is currently set to 5%, will be increased to 10%. Uh, right now, new validators, when they start, they are allowed to keep a validator commission of 0%. And from the epoch at which they're first selected, I believe up to 10 epochs, they're allowed to keep it 0. But after that, the system increases it to 5% automatically. Such a similar approach is going to be followed to the 10%. Any questions, anyone?
Yeah, it's maybe just important to note that obviously since HIP 30 has not passed yet, that all of these values and the percentages might change, but just doing the prep work prior so that when it does pass, it has, the only thing that we'll have to wait for is the update from the other nodes for the hard fork.
Yep.
And we did discuss about the pre-images, about if there's addresses not inside of those pre-images, to kind of maybe potentially not include
Drop
them.
those addresses, yeah. So right now there are two pre-images on shards 1 and 3 that don't for which the corresponding address does not exist. So sorry, two hashes for which the corresponding pre-image does not exist. The total balance for all of these is about 10,000 or 11,000 pi. So it's not that significant an amount. If the pre-image does not exist at a future point in time for deleted nodes in shards 2 and 3, we can consider dropping it as well. So it's not going to be a blocker, is what I guess we're trying to say.
Yeah, and we can worry about that support after the migration. I agree with that.
Max, I think if you call the function to read the account data in the on the database, it doesn't matter it is the old version of the DB or the upgraded version. Both of them
Yeah,
are
yeah.
able to fetch the data.
I agree, but in the key value database, the value is the data, but the key is the hash of the address. It's not the address. It's the SHA hash of the address.
Yep. Yep,
So there
correct.
is so after you did the upgrade was when the node started recording the mapping from the hash to the address. I don't think it was recorded previously, but I still need to check.
Okay. So, but in the new version or in upgraded version, there is a prefix for each of the data on the database, but I don't think for the account, like for the code or other things we have, or
Yep.
blocks or headers, but
Yep.
not for account. Yep.
Yeah, the account is just the leaf nodes in the Merkle Patricia tree, so that's not difficult to pull. But thanks.
Awesome. Yeah, I appreciate it, Max. Thanks for your hard work on that. Anything else?
Nope, I have nothing further.
Awesome. Sun?
Yeah, last week, I've been kind of sidetracked on assisting providing like customer support regarding One.Country. The guy who's supposed to be working on it in office, he's out of office right now, so Steven's been asking me for help regarding that. And then yeah, so all last week was that, and then like this week, now that I'm kind of finished with that. I'm back on doing research on slashing. Casey and I discussed on how to set the parameters on like different I guess ratios of percentages on slashing amount, as well as like the ratio for burn and reward ratio. We were talking about that, and then we thought it would be good to have a community input there. So I've been writing up a draft HIP 31, which I've also I've written up some of the specifications there, but then Theo and I discussed, and we thought it would be best for us to finish off HIP 30 first, so that we don't release HIP 31 right now, so that we don't divert I guess attention from HIP 30, because it's a bit more urgent. So I'm just writing the specifications and drafting that up so that when HIP 30 is done, that we could propose that as like right away. So this week that's what I've been working on, and just jotting down more details and just doing more research. Yeah.
Awesome. Yeah, and I think the community engagement on that is super important. Any type of like parameter change, especially when it has to deal with consensus or witness rewards for slashing or any type of things in that nature, I think is always good to have community involvement. And and that was, I think, a decision that Son and I made on our own that I think is super positive. So awesome. Thank you, Son.
Yeah.
Anything else?
Oh no, that'll be. Thank you.
Awesome. Adam was in the office today or this week, and went home yesterday. So I know he's probably a little exhausted from all of the engagement and all the meetings and lunches, and he had to do a podcast or a sit down interview, whatever you want to call it. So they put him to work while he was out here. So you want to give it a little update, Adam?
Yeah, Bailey. Yeah, sorry, one sec. Yeah, hey, Casey. Yeah, sorry, I'm like also on the phone too, trying to figure out that drone situation. So, while I was out there, yeah, we did like a podcast about the team and everything. I did manage to do a full review of the release and ran the available tests with the release branch from merging dev to main. Everything looked like it passed. There were failures for Rosetta. Casey informed me that Rosetta is actually not working right now, that Rosetta API. So I guess we're thinking about going and removing or commenting out those tests from the Harmony test framework. That's pretty much it on that side of things.
Yeah, thanks. I know I did a PR a while ago for Rosetta to kind of try to get it fixed, at least on my end, and it looked like it was temporarily making positive test results, but I guess something along the way has ceased that from happening. I don't think it's important at the moment. I don't see us getting listed on Coinbase anytime soon, especially with their legal issues at the moment. So I think it's something that we could remove or uncomment out on that test repository, but I'll leave it kind of up to you guys to.
Are there any other exchanges or any other partners that use Rosetta, or is it just Coinbase?
I think it is just Coinbase. I think it just allows them to get API calls a little bit easier.
Yeah, I know the concept, but let's just check with Soft once because he might know better. I'm certain that Binance uses Harmony Java, so they're not a concern, but better to confirm before we disable the tests.
Yeah, I agree. Awesome. Yeah, I'll loop him in and see what we can do.
The other thing is account extraction hasn't moved this week. It's low priority compared to state pruning, which I am still kind of figuring out tests. I did get the how-to guide from Gaius. I'm going through that now, so hopefully I'll be able to finish up these tests soon. You got the filter on, so I actually can't see the sub. Yeah, there we go. The sub tests are showing now. Yep. So HET 29. Hopefully we can get those tests finalized here in the next weeks, and I'll move on to account abstraction. The other thing is I still need to post my guide for the GitHub cleanup policy on the issues, so I'll make sure I get around to getting that completed.
Yeah, and if you need help with that, I kind of already wrote a couple of things out for it if you want me to help you or get you something in the meantime. But
yeah, just say what you have my way, and I'll look at it and put in my 2 cents.
Cool. Yeah, anything else?
That's about it.
Awesome. Guys?
Yeah. First of all, Adam, I fixed a little bit on there was some issue, conflicts issue for the state pruning PR because we had some changes on the dev branch. So I did merge it back again with the dev branch and I fixed those issues. This conflict issue. Most of them was like some empty lines or something like that, not actually in the code. Yeah, and I also add those documentation for the state pruning in the description on the PR, and also I put them in the group. Yeah, the last week, first of all, we had one issue with the persistent disk for caching in StreamSync. I created a GitHub issue for that, and I created another PR that was like a suggestion to fix that. So, but I draft the PR because I thought maybe needs other things also. So I just drafted, but it's like giving the idea that how we can fix the issue for, because basically the issue is about a little bit on some part of the code we combine the background context with the each stage context, and that's the problem for this is the Aragon DB. When you are working with Aragon DB, if you are working on multi-thread and each of these threads are trying to get access to the same resources or same DB on the disk, it will fail. And all of those threads that are trying to get access, they will stuck there and they cannot get any data. So that's why we create. I was running one of them on the background process and another one on the stage process, a stage context, sorry. But yeah, that PR helps to solve that issue, and it's draft already. Another thing was I was working since last week on the client for the stream sync, because for the state sync we need some sort of other functionalities, like if two nodes wants to share the state, some node data or receipts or this kind of things, that for the state sync we need them. We haven't had any functionality for that. So I added all of those functionalities. So now the nodes are able to send a request to try to fetch some, let's say, some leaves on the try or some specific state or receipt. And now I did some tests on it. I created a few tests, and all of those tests are passed, and I created a PR for that. So by this, I mean, after we deploy this client, I mean, after we merge it to dev and we deploy to DevNet, all the nodes on the DevNet will be able to share the states plus receipts and node data. So, and then the next step for me, which already I started that step, is the integration this client into the syncing process. So I'm thinking of adding as a new stage on the stage sync and integrate client there for fetching the states and for fetching the receipts there. So this is the thing that I'm working on it. Like I can say 20 or 30% is done. If the integration is done, that means the state sync is done, and we can start for testing and finalizing the code. I believe it can be done maybe by end of next week or maybe a few days after that. So we are very close to the finishing these state sync things. Yeah, that's all from my side.
I noticed that these two tests were failing on that one PR for the stream sync.
Yeah, I just restarted them.
Oh, okay. I wonder if that was for the Docker, because when I was looking at the logs for it, it just had an exit condition for a Docker condition.
Yep, that's the build PR that I sent out yesterday and you merged in.
Okay.
So after that, it should we just need to rerun and then it should be good to go.
But if it fails again, what this PR is doing, there was some flags that we hardcode and configuration that we hard-coded them in the code, because the idea was we test everything on DevNet, we make sure everything works, then we let the user adjust them. So at the beginning it was working, we tested it on DevNet for a few months, and then the plan was after all of this test, we put all of this configuration on the config file. So this PR is doing that. We are reading those values from the config file. But the problem here is this value, I mean the default value on the core for the stream sync, there is a flag that can run everything in single transaction. So this value can enable that flag. And when that flag is enabled, as I said, the GitHub issue that I created is for this. Maybe that time it crashed. It makes the entire process crash. because by default it was false, but now it's getting it from the config file, and from the config file it is true based on those conditions that we define. So that maybe is the problem. If we fix that issue with the context, this one also will be fixed. I mean, it's just I just guess. I'm not sure it's from that part or not.
Okay, yeah, we'll keep an eye on it. And then I would like if everyone can give their review on this release candidate, because I think that's coming in the pipeline. So I see a few of us have, but I'd like kind of to get everybody's review on it before we merge it up. And this is actually result. Awesome. I think that is it for everyone. Thanks for your update, guys. Is there anything else or?
No, thank
from
you.
my
Yeah,
side.
that's all. Konstantin.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Constantine.
So from stage sync, made some improvements to catch consensus faster, edit last mile blocks, fixed bug with short range, and made PR for this. It's fine. So currently I'm working with blocking mechanism for consensus. I made structs for this, and currently it requires some changes from consensus side for this. So 1-2 days, and I guess I will finish on Friday with this. Nothing more. That's all.
Did you see Max and I's comment on that signature PR that you put up?
No, I don't think that we should merge this PR, because it was for one specific case and it was solved by Gage.
Okay. Do you want me to put it in draft?
Yeah.
All right, just so it doesn't accidentally get merged up. It is like technically approved, so someone could come in there and do it. But if it is something that we do need, just mark it again, and we'll look at it. Awesome. But yeah, I just would like to urge everyone just to kind of go through this PR. I know it's kind of long, a lot of updates to it, so I'd like to kind of push this along so it doesn't get too big. And especially for Gaius's stream sync, maybe since we do have to do some testing for this, maybe just have this on the next iteration going forward to main. I think that will just kind of help that process out a little
Just
bit.
a question, do we need to activate something for stage sync on a server side? If yes, we should activate it.
Konstantin, you mean we activate the server for the stream sync only?
Yeah.
Yeah, actually if on the mainnet, the idea is at the beginning we just enable the stream sync server, but our nodes can continue using the client, I mean the DNS one. But still
So
the
it's
server is
already
active.
activated, yes?
Already, I don't think so. No, already is not activated.
Could we do it in this current dev branch?
In that
Because-
branch in that branch is active. Even the server and the client both are active in that branch.
I'm not sure about client,
In
but
dev,
server
sorry,
side
DevNet.
should be definitely activated.
Sorry, what?
I mean, I'm not sure that client side should be 100% activated, because possibly it still has some issues. Possibly, not sure, but server side should be activated 100%.
In DevNet, I think it's activated on all the nodes. I mean, based on the configuration that I saw from the node, from the soft. But in mainnet, no, it's not activated.
I mean, what's the harm in doing close to 100 on testnet?
I think first we need to fix the issues on the DevNet, make sure everything is stable, then we can move to testnet.
Yep, I agree. Awesome. I would like to just kind of remind people to go through any of these old PRs. Like I see like Max has some from February, probably on the second page. There's probably some of these ones that we can go through. I do have a couple fixes or new PRs for some of these older ones from RJ and Jackie. But if you have some old PRs, you know, like some of these older ones, and they're not relevant anymore, please just either close them out, and same with issues. These are I've went through and deleted probably 100 of them, but there's the ones that are kind of now in the queue are kind of specialized, and I would like to keep some of them around, but I know that a lot of them are kind of redundant too. So if you guys have some free time, I would definitely appreciate some of that insight on if things are relevant or not. But yeah, if anyone has anything else, we're all good. All right. Well, I appreciate you guys' time. And I'll see you guys out there.
Yep. See you guys.
Thank
Thank
you.
you.
Yeah, thank you.
Thanks. Bye.